Hi, welcome to Mrs. Park's geometry class. This is section 4 of chapter 3, equations of lines. So Y. On an interstate near Lawrence hometown, the minimum fine for speeding 10 or fewer miles per hour over a speed limit of 65 miles per hour is $42.50. There's an additional charge of $2 for each mile per hour over this initial 10 miles per hour. The total charge, not including court costs, can be represented by the equation C equals 42.5 plus 2m. So m is per mile that you go over per hour. Okay, and here's a nice chart graph showing you. Okay, it starts at $40 or $42.50 and goes up $2 per mile per hour that you are going over the limit. Okay. So here's the key concept. You have slope-intercept form and your point-slope form that we've learned before. Slope-intercept form is when you have your slope and the y-intercept. So it's represented by y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line and b is the y-intercept. And then you have your point-slope form, where you have your slope m, and you have your point x1 and y1 here. Okay, so slope and y-intercept. Here's an example. It says, write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line with slope 3 and y-intercept of -2, then graph the line. So this is your slope, and that is your y-intercept. So we're just going to rewrite your y equals mx plus b with 3 as slope and -2 as your y-intercept. So you're really just substituting the m and b with 3 and -2. We're going to simplify it because plus and negative will make it a -2. So there is your equation. Now to graph this, if you remember from last year, you're going to always start with your y-intercept. So start at -2, put a dot here, and then from there you're going to rise over run. 3 is same as 3 over 1. So you rise 3, 1, 2, 3, run 1, put another dot there, and connect the two lines, and there is your nice line. Okay, so here's your turn number 1. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. Again, that is y equals mx plus b. Okay. With your slope as 1/2 and your y-intercept as 8, then graph the line. Okay, and come back when you're done. Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to move on to point-slope form. And write an equation in point-slope form of the line with slope -3/4 that contains -2 and 5, then graph the line. So in point-slope form, they give you a point, x1 and y1, and then your slope. So again, you're just substituting your slope with -3/4, and you're substituting your x1 and y1 with -2 and 5. And we're going to simplify this because a minus and negative will make it a plus, and there's your final equation that's in point-slope form. Okay, so from here, we're going to graph this by doing, they give you a point -2, 5. So you're going to start at -2, 5, -2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So put a dot there. And from that point, you're going to do your slope -3 over 4. So there's two ways you can do this. You can rise 3 and run 4 to the left, or you can go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and run 4 to the right. Okay, and there's your other point there. You connect the 2 points, and you have a nice straight line. Alright, so here's your turn number 2. Write an equation in point-slope form, which is again y minus y1 equals m, your slope, x minus x1. Okay. Slope is 4 and contains points -3 and -6. Then graph the line and come back when you're done. Alright, welcome back. Example 3, 2 points. Well, before we do that, when the slope of a line is not given, use 2 points on the line to calculate the slope. Then use the point-slope form or the slope-intercept form to write an equation of the line. So to calculate the slope, you have to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay. Alright, write an equation of the line through each pair of points in slope-intercept form. So you have 2 points here. So we're going to do the slope by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you get negative 1 minus 3 on the top, and then negative 2 minus 0 on the bottom. And you simplify this, and you get 2 as the slope. Once you find the slope, you can do either, you can do the point slope form or the slope intercept form. It does not matter. So choose one. In the textbook, they're using slope intercept form. So here's negative 2 for your slope. And they know the y-intercept is 3, because on the graph, if you have 0, 3, and that it's going to meet that point, that is the y-intercept. So they use 3 as your y-intercept. Okay. You could have easily done the slope, this point slope form as well. It really doesn't matter. You'll still get to the same answer. Alright, so let's try another one. First step you're going to do is find the slope by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So negative 4 minus 4, 9 minus negative 7. Simplified is negative 1/2. Once you find your slope, this time we use the point slope form. So your m is negative 1/2. Now the point you can use either one of these points. It really does not matter. You'll still get the same answer. The textbook used the first one. So x is negative 7 and y is 4. Okay. Now we simplify the minus negative as a plus. Okay. And furthermore, we did distributive property. Okay. And then we add a 4 to each side to make it into a slope intercept form. Okay. Alright, so here's your turn, number 3A and 3B. Okay. You can use the slope y1 minus y2. Actually, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It doesn't matter which one it is. And then find your slope. Once you find your slope, you can do it 2 ways. You can do your y equals mx plus b, or y minus y1 equals your slope times x minus x1. Okay, so go ahead and do numbers 3 and 3b and come back when you're done. Alright, welcome back. We're moving on to example 4, horizontal line. Write an equation of the line through negative 2, 6 and 5, 6 in slope intercept form. So when you try to do the slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, you find out you have 0 over 7, which is same as 0. That means this is a horizontal line. Okay. When you have a zero slope, it's a horizontal line. It's a line that goes sideways. Alright, so when you put this in point slope form, your m is 0. You can still pick any point. They used, let's see, which point did they use? Negative 2, 6. So x is negative 2, y is 6. When you simplify this, okay, you have 0 as m, so everything on the right side equals 0, and now you have y equals positive 6. So when you graph this, it's going to actually look like y equals 6, 6 over here. It's going to be a straight line going sideways. And there's your graph, your horizontal line. Okay. So here's your turn number 4. Go ahead and do the same for number 4 and come back when you're done. Alright, welcome back. The equations of horizontal and vertical lines involve only one variable. So if it's a horizontal line, like the example we just did, it's going to be y equals a number. When it's a vertical line, it's going to be x equals a number. Just like that, x equals negative 2. Any point on this line is going to be a negative 2. Okay. Write parallel or perpendicular equations of lines. So I noticed the video is going kind of fast, the pace is fast, but it's really because these are all reviews from last year's algebra class. It's nothing new, it's just, we're just doing a lot of reviewing from last year's algebra class. Okay, so parallel and perpendicular lines. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for a line perpendicular to the line y equals negative 3x plus 2, and it goes through 4, 0. So again, when a line is perpendicular, the slopes have a, remember I always say change the sign upside down? Okay, so the slopes, the product of the slopes will equal negative 1. That means this negative 3 slope will now be, remember, change the sign, so it's now positive. 3 is same thing as 3 over 1, so it's going to be 1 over 3. So now my slope is 1 over 3. Because when you multiply these two, the product is going to equal negative 1. So 1 over 3 is my slope now. It's going to go through points 4, 0. So instead of x put 4, instead of y put 0. By doing that, I'm going to figure out what my b is. And once I find my b, I'm going to rewrite the equation with my slope and my y-intercept. So y equals y equals 1/3 x minus 1 1/3, or minus 4/3, same thing. Alright, so this is the last slide. It's been a long slide, so go ahead to number 5. Same thing what we did, now this time it's parallel. When it's parallel, the slope is the same. So don't do anything to the slope, just keep the negative 3/4 and find the equation going through negative 3 and 6. And when you're done with this, you're done with homework. So thanks for watching.